Hello, I'm Quentin Wells, and today I'll be interviewing Bill Boxdorfer. Can you give your title, please?
Absolutely. I serve as the Director of Student Engagement and the Interim Coordinator of Fraternity and Sorority Life here at Culver-Stockton College.
Yes, and we'll be discussing the various student organizations on campus and basically running like little forever interest fair for people who either didn't make it out to the interest fair, couldn't make it out, or just weren't feeling up to it but are regretting it now, I think. So anyways, Bill, today I think it'd be kind of nice to start off with a little outline of the sort of organizations we have on campus, what kind of interests might be able to draw people.
Absolutely. Currently, we have approximately 60 student organizations because the year has started off. We're in week 2 of the academic year. We have had several students stop by my office for new student organization paperwork from both various other departments such as residence life, reconstituting some old organizations with some new members. So once that paperwork gets finalized through myself and the Student Government Association, we'll probably be in the high 50s, low 60s in terms of overall student organizations. We have a variety of student organizations. Some of our academic honor societies are recognized student organizations. Our fraternities and sorority life, our governing bodies for the Student Government Association, as well as fraternity and sorority life exist as well. We have many social organizations such as the Black Student Union, Campus Programming Council, Women of Promise, and many other organizations with specific purposes in reference to education as well.
Cool. How about we run through like some of the highlights of like what they've got going on this year, any like big projects or stuff like that that might be able to kind of spark interest, give people direction as to what they might want to look into.
I know a big emphasis from my Department of Student Engagement as well as student life as a whole that I'm trying to work with the student organizations is really continuing that community aspect of building, because we're still in a global pandemic. We're trying to get to the end of this global pandemic and really trying to build that campus community once again. We are experiencing a very much level of normalcy with whether the vaccine requirement, the religious exemption, the medical exemption. So we've been able to not be in masks. We've been able to also have more in-person program initiatives. We are coming off of our week of welcome and Wildcat welcome orientation processes. Yesterday, we had our annual student involvement fair with nearly 30 groups on campus and approximately 300 to 400 students that attended. So it's really refreshing to see students out and about again, and to really trying to emphasize through the groups that I advise in fraternity and sorority life, the Campus Programming Council, the Black Student Union, working with Student Government Association and others to really hammer home that level of community building and here on the Hill. That's what my big focus is this year, is that overall theme of building that community. Overall theme, I again serve as the primary advisor to the Campus Programming Council, CPC. And CPC, I've really challenged them to, again, build those partnerships with other groups on campus and to continue to foster that type of growth, to work together with student organizations, because the saying, if you want to go fast, you need to go alone. But if you want to go far, let's go together. I've really been emphasizing that specific phrase, both during the global pandemic and continue that this year of really emphasizing, let's do things together.
All right. Can you maybe give a rundown of some of the specific activities that students could participate in with these organizations?
Absolutely. The CPC meetings, which all of these meetings are open to everyone, are 5 o'clock on Mondays in the Schwann Family Dining Room. And that's an opportunity to really see what type of the programmatic initiatives are going on campus. Currently, we have a comedian coming up. We're planning a trip to the St. Louis Cardinals game in September 29th. Again, homecoming initiatives such as our annual bonfire to announce the homecoming court nominations. the lip sync and karaoke contest. Those are just a few from that group, but then also working with our Black Student Union to work on getting some ACE event series going, some conversations going with the student population, working with the new president of the Black Student Union, Jalen Ellis, and her executive staff for that student group, and also providing those resources and conversations to help that group. Those are some things that are coming along, and there's many more things coming along because we're still, now that the students are back on campus and we're having meetings together to try and emphasize what we want to do and how we can best plan that out for the fall semester and then move forward into the spring 2022 semester. Student Government Association just began their meetings yesterday, and that's a new administration as well under DJ Jackson and Thomas Floyd. Those groups again will be meeting on Wednesdays at 6:30, and again serving as the voice of the Student Government Association and as the student body. So it's off to a great start with all those administrations for those respective groups that are going on. So it's also my hope to make the rounds across campus for other student organizations. It's always a goal of mine to at least touch base with them several times a week, especially with all the different groups that we have on campus, to make sure that they have the resources and information at their disposal to be successful.
All right. So do you know if there are any new organizations that are coming to campus this year?
So we do have a few new student organizations that again have been stopping by for paperwork. We have a potential open mic night, slam poetry type group that's wanting to maybe have some interest in being a student organization. There's a group of freshmen that wanted to start a personal training, physical therapy type student organization yesterday. Our new director of residence life is potentially looking at starting some student organizations specifically associated with residence life. We had an old student organization refile for student organization status. That was YAF. So we have a lot of groups that are either being reestablished or some brand new student organizations that are being brought to the Hill. So that's exciting. It shows me that students are wanting to be involved in various aspects of campus.
Well, it sounds like we have a lot of new student organizations that have come to campus, but do you know if there are any that might have kind of crashed and burned over the last year or had trouble through the pandemic and might have disbanded?
Not to my knowledge of our student organizations. All of our fraternity and sorority life are still here on campus. Our student organizations that put on a majority of the programmatic initiatives for the campus are still here, and things like that. Not to my knowledge. We haven't had any student organizations that have gone inactive at this time.
All right. So for the kind of reluctant student who might just kind of want to keep their head down and just get through their classes, what is it about student organizations that you think would really help to draw them out and get them excited to participate in campus activities?
Absolutely. So one of the things that I always recommend to students is take an opportunity to get involved, because it also creates many different things. It creates time management skills. It can help advance your communication skills. If you become involved in a student organization, maybe you become their treasurer and you're working with money and finances. Maybe you're a finance major. This helps put some practical experience for you in the major that you're having. Maybe you're a graphic design major and you become involved in marketing and flyer or digital design of a student organization. That can help build your portfolio. Those are just some of the aspects that student organizations can provide, plus the bonus of just being involved and having fun and working with your friends and fellow students. Those are just some of the opportunities, because we can provide experiences like that. Because I'm a big believer in try to get involved in something, because I don't want students to just simply go to class, because statistics show if you're involved, you're retained more at a better rate, you have a higher GPA, you create those time management skills, those communication skills, those leadership development skills that once you go to graduate, that grad schools are looking for, that future employees are looking for, and it helps create that resume content, but also helps provide storytelling during that interview process. Like, oh, let me tell you about a time where I was given X amount of dollars to facilitate an educational workshop for the campus community, or put on a social initiative for the campus community, or look at all the different designs of my portfolio that I did for this campus organization or department. It helps create that content and also those experiences outside of the classroom. And we as student life professionals can help provide that, that guidance, that safety net for students to get involved. If we don't have a student organization that a student is interested in, they can come see me and we can talk through that process of how to start a new student organization through myself and the Student Government Association.
I know another sort of problem people might have getting involved is just sort of the anxiety of like looking for a new group, getting integrated into a new social circle. Do you have any advice for how to kind of overcome that and get the inspiration to go out there and try and find your place in one of the student organizations on campus?
Yeah, absolutely. I always have it. I would recommend the students, if they are feeling a little bit nervous about joining a student organization or maybe potentially starting a new student organization, just come see me. Let's chat in my office. I have a big couch. I got snacks everywhere in my office. Let's have a conversation and see what their interests are. And I can work with that student to see what their interests are and how to best give recommendations for them to get involved, but also talk them through maybe some of the feelings that they're having in terms of maybe anxiety or nervousness and wanting to join a new group for individuals that they may or may not know. Many of our veteran student leaders are very open to inviting new members to their respective organizations and connecting maybe those individuals with the veteran leaders of student organizations to offer some insight from the student perspective as well. So both myself and the veteran leaders helping in that process.
All right. Well, to get into contact with these organizations, what would be the best method? Do we have like a central list, or how would you kind of figure out where that is?
My office has a central list of student organizations that lists the advisors of the student organizations, and we're always actively updating the executive boards of the presidents of those student organizations. So I have a good point of contact in my office, and we also make available that information on Canvas as well. But also too, I'm more than willing to talk with students about the contact list. I'm an email away, I'm a phone call away, stopping in my office and just having a conversation and making those connections for students.
All right. Thank you. Do you have any like closing thoughts, anything big that's going on?
We're just excited for the school year to be underway. I encourage, again, students to, both new students, returning students, to just get involved on campus, because these are resources available for your student experience. Go to that program initiative, go to that athletic event, go to that fine art production, get involved in your individual departments, maybe go for that work study opportunity position, because those are the things that, you know, help make things go by in your college experience, but also help create memories as well with your fellow students. Those are some things I would recommend. Just go for all the opportunities that are available to you at Culver-Stockton College. And I appreciate the opportunity to join you on this podcast today and talk about the student involvement opportunities. And I'm just one of many individuals here in the student life area of involvement. And I would love to, again, connect with students to get them to the involvement opportunities that they want to pursue.
Well, all right. Thank you. I appreciate your time. I'm Quentin Wells. This is Bill Boxdorfer, and we've been glad to have you listen today. Thank you.
Thank you.